We started. We've got the Chengdu Hunters against the Shanghai Dragons. And immediately you can see that the Dragons are just going to roll out on this Farah Sombra composition. We've seen this Farah Sombra composition before. This is actually the same comp that Guangzhou was running last time I did the review. They played this on many maps. They didn't play it on King of the Hill. So it's interesting that Shanghai Dragons are kind of double downing and also playing this on this KOF map here. Li Jaegan is obviously going to swap to the Mercy here to pocket the Farah. And on the side of the Hunters, they are doing some spawn shenanigans. They are going to TP out with leave, and then they're all going to TP, right? This is very common. A lot of teams do this. But they're going to stay on the Symmetra, and as soon as they see Farah, they're going to go back to spawn, and they are going to swap off the ball to the Winston, and leave is going to go for the Tracer. So this is interesting, right? Because the Hunters are actively giving up positioning for picking the counter comp, which I think is really interesting. Their comp is very good against this Farah comp in my opinion, because Farah takes pretty long to set up her spam, and she's also best at spamming immobile supports, right? Like a Zenyatta, like an Ana, like a Baptiste maybe even. Especially when there's no cover, like on this map there's not too much cover. But the Hunters are playing a very mobile support line, a very hard to dive support line, right? Because they are so mobile. You're going to swap leave over to Tracer. And then the Winston is also very fast, and the Winston is a lot better against the Sombra specifically. So I think Amang is not on his best character, Wrecking Ball, because of the Sombra. And Sombra, in my opinion, counters Wrecking Ball very hard. So yeah, already some interesting stuff coming out before the map even starts, right? So let's keep going here. We are going to see Live swap over to Tracer. But as I said, the Hunters have kind of given up position for picking the counter comp, right? You already see Ding is in a location to hard spam. And the entirety of the Shanghai Dragons have taken control of point here. It's going to be interesting to see the Chengdu Hunters do the retake here. Just to see how they'll do it as well. Amen walks up, he gets chunked, dives the back line, uses bubble, gets counter dived, right? But you see how quick the flankers here are for the Chengdu Hunters. They also get a nice hack on Lip, who is also on the Sombra. So we'll keep going. A few pieces that are pretty low for the Dragons, but the Hunters have used a lot of cooldowns here. And Amang actually ends up dying to Ding. This is looking pretty good for the Chengdu Hunters, who are a little better in the brawl. There's a lot of trades too. Yveltal actually ends up dying. And the Hunters ending up losing this fight because... oh, it's still going. Yeah, Chengdu Hunters actually ending up losing that fight because Lip, even though he got hacked on the Sombra, got a lot done. And I'd actually like to go back and see if they could have done more in their initial dive, you know? Like, this was a very long dive too. If you look at where Amen comes from, it's a mega long dive. But he kind of has to play it really fast, you know, because if he just sits there and they take the tank fight, then the spam from Ding is just gonna rack up. He's gonna do a lot of damage, and maybe actually the hack from Jinmu here onto Lip initiates this whole dive. Where is that happening? Okay, so Jinmu actually got a really early flank. He didn't swap off his character. I guess the Sombra is really a mainstay in the Asian region specifically. So yeah, Jinmu alone already gets a nade out from Luffy. Aiming gets counter dive. The bubble comes out. The target focus for Leaf isn't great because Anna's 1 HP and the Mercy's 1 HP. So maybe he could focus either of those, but he's shooting Lip right now. A little bit of miscommunication there. Then they're going to swap to Lee Jae-gon, who is going to die here. And Ding also dies. But it takes a long time for Lee Jae-gon to die, actually. So maybe the target focus in their backline there could have been a little better for the Chengdu Hunters. They do end up getting the Mercy, but at that point their whole front line's already dead, and the Yveltal actually also dies. So yeah, you just have to consider that in the long fights, because Anna does has more sustained healing, right? And the Pharah gets more value the longer the fight goes. If Hunters can't get a pick quickly, or they do a lot of trades, then the Dragon's comp is very, very good. If Lee Jae-gon is able to stay alive too, he can res people, right? That kind of stuff. So great fight here for the Dragons, and maybe giving up that positioning for the counter comp might not be worth it for the Hunters. But it seems very common in the Asian games. Yesterday, Guangzhou and Spark did this whole spawn dance too. Lip's really close to his EMP now. Ding again over here spamming. And Chengdu kind of has to find a target, right? They're all clumped up. I don't think they can just sit here because they're going to take too much spam. Nano is also up, and so is EMP. Which normally you farm coal really fast, but since Ameng and Elsa both died early, Kyo couldn't get the healing done to farm his coal quick enough. Okay. So Chengdu has now gotten this room. So they've gotten this area of the map. The Shanghai Dragons have still got this area though. And you see how Luffy's kind of safe over here. That's a very good spot for him to play, because this is a very long dive, and generally long dives aren't that great because the diva just flies after you. And you already see aiming at the bubble here. EMP comes out from Lip. It only hits Leave and Ameng though, so it's not too good of an EMP. But I'm always a fan of very proactive ultimates. And this ultimate, even though it's very early, it gets the bubble, which is Winston's best defensive ability, right? And then it also hits Leave. So if Void and Fearless can blow up Ameng fast enough, then this EMP is actually very good. Good Matrix. Ameng kind of kites to the wrong side, cutting away from his team. However, Ding gets hacked, and Ameng does get out. So maybe a little bit too early of an EMP. Not sure. Was also a very good hack on Ding, because they were hacking him, or they were nanoing him. So they were trying to nano and EMP. Great start of this fight for the Hunters, who are now going to get their ultimates up. Like, even though they haven't got any kills yet, they've gotten 2 ults out of the enemy team and they've lost nobody. They've been able to farm their own Moira ult. Again, Lip gets a hack on Elsa. He's able to farm more ult. Oh, Elsa's actually going to get demeched here by Lip and Ding. That is a very, very good hack. And actually, it is possible to counter hack as Diva, just based on the sound. So what smart Sambas will do, and I'm not sure if Lip did this here, but we'll take a look at this, is that they will uncloak behind like a building thing. He's already shooting at me. Like behind LOS. Then you can't hear the uncloak sound. And then you start to hack. That's something that is interesting to me. Oh yeah, see, he uncloaks behind this little cover, and then Elsa, because there is cover, can't hear him uncloak, and then he goes for the hack animation. So this is something very common that Sombra players do, right? It's really smart. Makes it really hard for Elsa to react to the hack. So Shanghai get that kill on Elsa. Void is still very low, and Kyo is still using his ultimate though. Also, Jinwoo's got his own ultimate. So even though Chengdu's down 1, they still have a chance of winning this fight because they're popping ults now, and Dragons don't have too many ults to respond yet. Nice EMP there from Jinwoo. Gets 4 people. Kyo still dies to Lip, however. It's kind of been popping off. Ooh, kill this diva before he can bomb again. Okay, he's unhacked. Oh, Ameng dies because he gets hacked, I think. Ooh, that's rough. He just used his ult. Oh no. Yeah, he gets hacked. Oh. Ouch. He had his jump up too. He could have probably jumped away from that earlier. I'd like to see how Kyo actually ends up dying while ulting, because that's major. Okay, doesn't get a lot of value out of the first half of his coalescence. Oh, he gets just manually hacked by Lip behind. So Lip getting massive value out of the Sombra so far. Yeah, we've seen this part of the fight. Ameng ults. He gets bombed. Hacked, bombed, dead. Fearless still has ult. Yveltal's now also going to Lip kills another one. So Lip kind of putting the Shanghai Dragons on his back right now. I'm not sure if Fearless needed to Winston ult there. Would have been great to save that, but they're already ahead in percentage, so it's not the end of the world. Kind of feeds Jinwoo ult charge too. But this was Fearless's first win, and it is with the team he went 0-40 with last season. First win in Overwatch League. Let me rephrase that. So good on him. Redemption arc. Oh. Straight up though, he gets hacked. And Jinwoo also using that cover trick, right? Where you pop out of cover, then you start to hack. Fearless gets hacked. Void's gonna have to Matrix for him. Looks to be okay so far. Yeah, Ding is playing very aggressive. Void eats the pulse bomb too. Then he comes up with a barrage. Oh, it's a nano barrage actually. Very good combo. This is part of why you pick this Ana, right? Because if you can keep her alive, she can farm nano off the tanks. And then nano barrage is a very strong combo. Especially because your Sombra can hack the enemy diva very often. And then the nano barrage is an even safer and better combo, right? And they do end up hacking Elsa here actually. Barrage was almost over, but just because of the nano damage reduction and the mercy healing, it's really hard to kill the Pharah. But when you don't have stuns, the only stun they really have is the hack. It's very hard to get that Pharah out of that barrage. Also, when you are barraging, Void is going to use the remaining amount of his matrix on the Pharah most of the time, just so he can't get damaged, right? And he can barrage for longer. You're kind of putting a lot of eggs in the basket for the nano barrage there, but it worked out great. Shanghai ends up winning that fight. They did use a bunch of ults. Fearless used his ult earlier where he might not have needed it, and they used the nano barrage to win this next fight and the Valk, right? That's a bunch of ultimates. Void also used his ult last fight. That was a very good ult. But now Hunters are going to come in with a bunch of ultimates. Lip, however, has the EMP again, right? And it's kind of up to Yveltal to not get EMP'd because he is on that Lucio. And if he doesn't get EMP'd, he can beat his whole team to save them from the enemy EMP. Or Jinmu could find an EMP onto Lip before Lip can EMP. And that's also a way to counter the enemy EMP, right? Does Lee Jae Gon do the gill jump? Does he do the super jump? We'll see, we'll see. I don't know if he does. I haven't seen him that. I haven't seen him do it yet. Yeah. So Fearless is forced out, which is great for the Chengdu Hunters because if you look at the space now, the Chengdu have a whole lot of space, actually. So they could just walk on the point and start capping it now. And Lip has to find an EMP. Oh, he doesn't have to, right? But then Hunters can win this fight with their ultimates. Lip actually gets another nice hack onto Lee. He's been finding a ton of hacks this entire first round so far. And yeah, and Lee ends up dying, which is going to force a lot of ultimate responses from the Chengdu Hunters. And actually, I don't like this from Lip. Lip EMPs, but this allows Yveltal to beat, right? He's going to EMP to try and cancel the Coalescence, which in essence, that's good. But Yveltal's kind of in prison right now. If you think about it, he has to always hide because if he gets caught in EMP, he's completely fucked. So Yveltal has to hide right now, but because Lip starts the EMP, Yveltal can now come out of his hiding and he can beat his whole team, which is going to propel the Hunters to maybe win this fight. But if Lip holds on to his EMP, then Yveltal stays in prison and he can't do anything except hide and hope that Lip's EMP gets forced, right? So he does cancel the Coalescence. This is going to force Yveltal to beat, right? And you see how, kind of because of this EMP, the Hunters get to beat. Yeah, I think if Yveltal, or if Lip holds on to his EMP there, they've just killed the Tracer. They would do a lot better than that he uses it here. So yeah, Chengdu clean up with the help of the beat, right? They did use a bunch of ultimates. Shanghai's actually still fighting. They actually res somebody, so Chengdu's going to be able to farm some of their ultimates here. But yeah. Clean fight win for the Hunters. Because of that beat, great hiding spot from Yveltal. And I think a mistake on Lip's part, who's been otherwise playing a great first Sombra round, right? He's gotten so many hacks. But now if you look at the ult situation, the Nano Barrage is coming up again. And both tank ults are coming up for the Dragons. And Hunters have the EMP on this side this time. Now Dragons don't have a Lucio, so there's no mind games that they need to play. Oh, and actually let's go back. Kind of missed that first part of this. So yeah, Hunters decide to go mega aggro, EMP instantly, which is good, right? But at the same time, EMP is like their only ult, I guess, along with the Winston ult here. So if they blow this ult, then Dragons can just retake with their 4 ult stack, and it's going to be very hard to win the next fight, you know? So maybe because the Hunters are so low on their other ults, they want to play this a little bit slower, but I'm not sure. Yeah, EMP comes out. They're going to win this fight very quick, which is great. But if you have a look at the percentage, they only got little percentage from this because they're fighting in the enemy spawn. Lee Jae Gon ends up dying. Yada yada yada. Okay. Let's see. Next fight. Okay, Jinmu's already posturing very aggressive again. Lip gets uninvised. Oh, does he not have... His translocator must have just been killed. That's very rough. Yeah, so... Lip just walking around, walking out of spawn. Has his translocator up currently. And he throws it down. Right there. He wants to replace it to put it in a better spot. But Jinmu sees this and now he's screwed. Because not the whole Shanghai Dragons is ready yet, right? So Lip kind of like walking out a little too quick. Trying to do a little too much. Gets picked for... And that's rough because now it's only one fight. And the Hunters, because of that, have been able to farm up their Moira ult and they're close to Lucio ult too. Okay. A-Man goes in really aggro again. Which is good, right? The Pharah is a slow character, so if you can play super aggressive, that's good. Let's see how this goes, however. They go very hard on Void. The Nano Barrage comes in. It's A-Man. Elsa, you know, matrix a little bit, but he's running. He's getting hacked. So yeah, whenever Ding actually ults, Lip is hacking the D.Va, which is very good. Good job by Elsa though to kind of fly out there. Now Ding kills another one. Leave and A-Man both had ults. It's rough that they die. Elsa's gonna go contest. The Moira ult's still up for Keel. He's using it now. Elsa goes very, very low. Gets out though. And A-Man still has ult, remember? So as long as he can pop it, not get hacked this time, he's good. Fearless gets his ult pop first. Okay. Both Shanghai Dragons tanks are now farm their EMP, and you see Ding or Lip has another EMP up. Jinmu's at 80%. Very, very close. Fights going on everywhere right now because so many ults are going on. Oh, and an EMP comes in from Hunters or from Lip again. But Yveltal had beat again, so he's able to counter the EMP with the beat again. And I think maybe not this fight because Yveltal actually built that very, very quick. But especially the earlier fight, Lip can really hold on to these EMPs. You kind of put Yveltal in prison, right? Because now Yveltal gets another beat onto a ton of people. Okay. Good EMP from Jinmu as well, who gets 2 people. But because the fight has been going so long for the Dragons, and they had a lot of ults coming in, they are probably going to win this fight. Oh, it's very close still. Ding is still in the air, but there's no Mercy to heal him now. And Luffy's going to have to heal tanks. Ding is still getting massive value though, even though there's no Mercy. Yeah, and they do clean up. So, very close first map actually. Yveltal has some very nice beats to counter the EMPs from Lip. But just how long the fights were going and Shanghai Dragons winning that first fight meant that they could get to a very high percentage before the Hunters could retake. Okay, map 2, and no TP shenanigans this time around. You've got the Hunters, again, very, very divey comp, with the Winston D.Va specifically, right? This time, no spawn shenanigans because these spawns are a lot further than on University. And Dragons, again, same comp. So now the Dragons aren't going to be able to get point for free, right? Because Hunters are not coming from spawn. And the Hunters actually have the Lucio speed, so they are definitely going to get there first. So let's see if they can abuse the positional advantage that they can get with that Lucio. They are currently not doing too much because their flankers are still setting up. Jinmu and Aleve are nowhere close to the fight yet. Well, Ameng is actually already walking up. Ameng dives. I guess just because they see the Ana. But if you look at where Aleve is, he is really far away from the fight still. He has 2 blinks. So he could join in, but then he'd have to use all his cooldowns, you know? So maybe a little of a hasty dive by Ameng. They do end up hacking Void, however, which is very good. D.Va's a really good hack target. Yveltal gets a boop. Oh, doesn't knock Luffy off the map, but he's pretty close. And because of that very aggressive play from the Chengdu Hunters, they do win this fight. It wasn't super clean, but they're actually, with the Moira healing, I guess, they're able to keep aiming up just barely. And you can see how, because the Pharah can't really shoot inside too easy, like this area, it's pretty rough, especially if Elsa is also going aggressive on the enemy Pharah. So Chengdu do cap the point. They should be able to clean this up. Oh shit, Ameng is so aggressive. What? His team is all the way over here. And Ameng's diving in. This man's a mad lad. He's throwing the game. What is that, dude? I guess the Tracer is over here. But he can't really follow up. I think this is not a good dive here by Ameng. And he should get punished pretty hard. He's like, where the fuck is my team at? His team is like, Ameng, what the fuck are you doing? So that's not good. Yeah, they have to speed boost back. And as I've said, Shanghai kind of get the point for free now. And that was a really bad... That's like, they were in control. They had a big ult advantage. And then Ameng just dives in. Ooh. The Chengdu are doing a pretty good job stalling so far. Ameng's coming close. Yveltal's going to die. Yveltal's actually really far in his ult. And Shanghai do cap the point. Ameng kind of jumping in like that is very detrimental to his team, because if you just looked at the ults, Hunters were close to having 5 ults, and having ults in a defensive position is very strong because you kind of get to the side where you're gonna pop those ults, you know. But Ameng also can't be on the Wrecking Ball, which is his favorite character, because the enemy Sombra. So it is rough for the Hunters, and Sombra is like the biggest Hammond counter there is. So yeah, Ameng clearly not comfortable, as her elite is saying in chat here. And Dragons now has 6 ults. So does the Hunters, but the Dragon ults are a little bit better just because they have that Nano Barrage, which is looked to be really strong. And again, if Lip just kind of holds on to his EMP, Yveltal is kind of prisoned, right? Because if Yveltal isn't hiding, then Lip can just EMP everybody, right? Because if he EMPs Yveltal, he obviously can't beat and he's gonna die. But if Yveltal does hide and Lip doesn't ult, then yeah, the Shanghai Dragons are just playing a 6v5 because Yveltal has to hide. So let's see how that plays out kind of in this next fight. So far, Lip's used his ults very early. He's disregarded everything I've said. But maybe now it's different. And Lip again, ults super early. But this is great from Lip, right? Because he gets the Lucio, which is crucial. Like, that's the most important part. But this is an insane EMP. And yeah, he gets everybody but the 2 DPS from Hunters. And even though the Shanghai Dragons are a little slow at following up, Yveltal still does get killed. Both supports are dead. And then Jinmu EMPs, but both his supports are already dead. Ding is now ulting. And this is not looking great for the Shanghai Dragons here, even though Luffy has died in the midst of all this. Fearless does get killed likely. Okay. Void also dies, so maybe I spoke too soon. Rez comes out. Onto Fearless, who still has his ult. And these trades are good for the Shanghai Dragon, because they're in control of point, right? Lip. Farming. Ding is still alive too. Ding gets hacked. Ding is actually better at getting hacked than any other. Like, whenever Ding gets hacked, he always does, like, rocket jumps to get back on, like, high grounds. Which he's probably going to do here. Yeah, you see? He always does this. When he gets hacked, he instantly rocket jumps himself, like the soldier character in TF2, back to a high ground. It's so smart, and it's a very good rocket jump from Ding, who kind of avoids being hacked, which is weird, right? You'd think Pharah has no vertical mobility when she's hacked, but apparently she does if you're Ding. And most other Pharahs have done this too, like recently, right? Okay, so both teams use EMP. Lee Jaegon ends up ulting because his team started losing, and it's kind of even here. Hunters have a bunch more ults, right? They have to beat 2, but Dragons is in control of the point, so we'll see how this next fight goes. And I still expect them to nano Ding, even though Ding doesn't have his barrage, right? Just because I think that nano Pharah is so strong. Depending on where the fight's going to take place too, right? Hack comes out for somebody. Misses, I think. Not sure. But I heard someone hacking. Anyway. Luffy gets dived. He gets pocketed, but he's kind of going out of his Mercy's LOS. He's likely to die, especially because Aiming also has his ult. And then Kyo comes high ground and ults the Mercy, which is great because the Mercy doesn't have ult, right? She can't just falc away and sustain. The Lee Jaegon is likely screwed here. It's a pretty bad target focus though from the Hunters, as Elsa is on Ding, the rest of the team is on Lee Jaegon, and Aiming is on Luffy. So very sloppy target focus. If Elsa was on Lee Jaegon there, he would have 100% died. Aiming is now ulting both supports here though. Oh, he kind of whiffs the juggle on Luffy, who could have also died. And now the Dragons are suddenly looking very strong, even though that was a great start for Chengdu. But yeah, bad target focus. Aiming not ending up killing Luffy. And then both tank ultimates from Dragons coming out. So Chengdu is approaching really quickly. I'm not sure if everybody from the Dragons is here. We've got Fearless, Void, Lip, Luffy. Pharah Mercy is on the left side of the map. So they are kind of 6. And Lip has his ultimate, but Jinmu doesn't, and Yveltal also has built another beat. So Yveltal actually keeping up in pace with building beat with the enemy Sama, which is pretty impressive in my opinion. So we'll see if Lip can find another EMP where he catches Yveltal too. Which he didn't do a good job of last map. This map's he got the first one very, very well. Oh, and actually Lip has to teleport out. His team, or the Hunters calm that Lip has to teleport out. So Yveltal uses the beat because he sees an opportunity where Lip isn't there. But Lip actually had a translocator very close to the fight in a very smart spot. So he's likely to come in, EMP this anyway. Yeah. Yveltal ends up dodging it. It only gets Elsa. So it wasn't too great of an EMP. Still gets the beat of Elsa, however. Again, Elsa will die while having ult. Aming's also going to die. So, good EMP nonetheless. Fearless ends up dying, but at this point, the fight's likely to be over. BJ Gong gets hacked, but he lives. And yeah, the Dragons just clean up. Oh, very clean map too for the Dragons. And I feel like sometimes the target focus for the Hunters could have been better there, right? And especially when they capped this first point, Aming jumping into the enemy team and then feeding, just lost them the point straight up. Shanghai almost didn't have to use any ultimates, and that was a very weak line of play. Because if they just wait for the Dragons to come in, they can decide the pace of the game, right? And they can win because they had an ult advantage. So it kind of feels to me that Aming made it very hard for his team to win, even after they take first fight like that. Fight's still going, but it's going to be cleaned up someday. Shanghai Dragons win. Let's get started with map 2. We've got the Shanghai Dragons on the Farah Sombra composition, but they're still subjective to swap, right? Because they're on the attack. You've got a very close spawn, so they can always go back and swap right to a counter comp. While the Hunters are going very Hunters with this composition. They've got the Farah, which is very strong on Dorado. This is actually one of the best Farah maps in the game because there is so much aerial cover. If you look at this map, you've got this entire tower, right, where the Farah can play. You've got this entire high ground. You've got that entire high ground. You've got high ground over here, you know, there's high ground everywhere where the Farah can kind of hide behind. And on defense, you'll generally see Farahs play here and like back here, right? And on attack, you'll see them like fly over this side. So on attack and defense, Farah's good until the end of second point here, because second point also has great aerial cover, right? Farah has this building she can play from, very good for Farah. She has this building, she has this building, right? This. So you get what I'm saying? And then after that, that's when it becomes rough, because if you look at the air here, there's only this building, right? So Farah doesn't do it good at the end of second point, which is generally when you'll see Farah swap off of the Farah, and then on third point it's absolutely horrible, right? Like if you look at this, there's zero aerial cover except for this little thing, but nobody uses that. So yeah, that's where Farah is strong on this map, but first and second, very strong Farah points. So yeah, let's see if the Dragons decide to stay on this. And interestingly enough, this is kind of like the Valiant comp we saw, right? With the spam plus the Ashe, because McCree and Widow are banned, and this is a very long range map, so the Ashe actually makes some more sense here. And then the Farah, which I think this comp is very, very interesting. And it puts Aming not on Winston. It puts him on Orisa, which is really great. And then Orisa Sigma in general is a really good tank composition. Deals with Winston very well when he jumps in, right? But let's see what the the Dragons pick is here, and if they stick on this Farah Sombra composition in turn, they could. That's not a bad composition. So yes, they are deciding to stay on this Farah Sombra dive composition. And there's two real strengths to this composition, I feel. There's the Sombra hack and the instant ability to follow up on the Sombra hack with the tanks, right? These are very mobile tanks, while the Hunter's tanks aren't as mobile. They're very stationary. They're like, put a shield up, don't move, that kind of stuff. And then the support lines are mirrored and the Farah's mirrored, right? So the only real difference is the tank line and the decision to play Sombra. Where I think Sombra is actually a really good pick into Sigma, because Sigma has a very hard time stopping hacks. And this team in general is a team that has a hard time dealing with the Sombra hack, right? All of these are projectile except for Ash, who is a hit scan. But 180 shooting someone with Ash is pretty hard, right? The Ana can stop it with maybe her nade or a shot, but it's pretty hard. So Lip should be able to find hacks here. But can the Dragons really follow up? Could be the problem. And we will see if that is the case or not. So let us get into this map. We are already seeing a Farah Mercy duel over here on the left side around this high ground cover, which I was talking about earlier, right? That's generally where you see the Farah's play here. Great pull early on onto Fearless from Ameng. Stops him from jumping. And you'll see Ameng from in here contesting the cart, but he actually gets naded. So very, very nice nade from Luffy, who's actually already got 80% to his ult. What? Molly's on 20%. And Luffy's on that high percentage to his ult. That's crazy. Oh, Void just takes a ton of damage. Heals up Void. He walks into the enemy tanks. Pops the nade. And this is really bad for Ameng and Elsa. Like, Ameng pops Fortify, he goes to contest. Fearless actually nearly dies. Luffy takes a rocket, takes a pull. Please keep Luffy alive. He almost has Nano Boost. Okay, he's still alive. Good job by Jinmu actually to shoot the Ana there while he's also dueling the enemy Farah Mercy. But yeah, because Luffy was able to build this Nano Boost so damned quickly, he's able to Nano Boost Fearless. Fearless then jumps in, kills Ameng because Ameng no longer has his Fortify because he had to use that earlier. The Farah duels are still going on. Ding was actually able to pressure out Jinmu. We're playing very far back. And this is looking good for the Dragons. Just winning the tank fight, which is weird. Ooh, Lee Jae Gong gets hit by a direct rocket from Jinmu. And if you look at the Farah ult percentage, you actually see where all that Luffy ultimate was coming from. Because Jinmu already has his ult, while Ding is only 29%. So while Ding has been going for the Farah duel, Jinmu's actually been shooting the Dragon's tanks. Which, in this case, not that great because it was able to give the Dragons that Nano Boost very quickly. And Dragons just kept the first point off that kill. Because Ameng wasn't even close to being back yet. Then they also staggered kill Molly. This is looking very bad for the Chengdu Hunters. Where Leaf hasn't been able to do anything yet. Wow. Dragons with an incredible snowball so far. They're already getting the cart in a position where second point's only going to be one fight as well. And they've almost got EMP too, which is a game-changing ultimate. So Fearless takes some more damage, jumps off. Obviously, Luffy's on the cart, so they have to watch out with taking damage. Fearless puts down the bubble on top of the Chengdu Hunters. Ooh, A-Man gets his Fortify forced out, but he goes really low. And Chengdu Hunters is actually having real problems walking out of this choke right here. Hello, Cinnamon. Cinnamon. I don't know how to say that. I'm European, don't judge me. But yeah, A-Mang's already had his Fortify forced out. And he's having some real struggles here. He's already very low. Molly's obviously heating up, so you might get nanoed here just to keep him up. But ideally, you don't spend your nano that way. You want to nano barrage. No, they don't nano him. They just keep him alive. He's had to pick up the health back. But if you just look at the card push here for the Dragons, this is crazy. And Lip's ulting now. He's ulted Molly and Elsa. And not A-Mang. So that's not too good of an ult. This is going to be hard to follow up on. Fearless is here. So they're just going to go and try and kill Molly. But actually a great ult. They're able to kind of get in there. Even though it's a hard to get in room, right? And they're able to eliminate Molly. And the Chengdu Hunters have 6 ults now. So if you're able to use your ults first, then it's very hard for the enemy team to like reactively ult, you know? So yeah, they're able to get both targets that Lip was able to EMP. And that should secure the Dragons. Oh, big barrage coming out from Jinmu, who kills 2. Yveltal's getting out the Glock. These spawns are very close for the Chengdu Hunters here. So this might be rough. Nice res, nice shots mid-air onto Lee Jae-gon. A-Man's going to be able to touch. He also has Bongo, which he likely won't use. And A-Man also instantly dies. So really good proactive play from the Shanghai Dragons so far. And as I was talking about earlier, Farah's not doing great on this third point. So Jinmu's already swapping off. Yveltal's also going to swap off. Because this last point is rough for Farah, especially if they have to retake. Dragons will probably stay on because they have Nano Barrage. Leave actually is going to die here too. Wow. Shanghai is just able to get stagger kill after stagger kill. Hunters is having a rough time. Jinwoo swapped over to the Sombra. But if you look at the ult bank, then Dragons actually still have an ult advantage. Yeah, 4. Hunters have 3, you know? And Bob's not too good of an ult. Bob can get slept and hacked. And just LOS'd. The Bongo comes out, but it gets killed instantly. So that's a really low value ult for Mei-Ming. He's nowhere near to the enemy team. Ding is actually using the cover I was talking about earlier. But maybe because A-Ming knows the enemy team is Fair Mercy. I don't even get why they're walking out here. They should be going high ground. High ground. And then he can put the ult right here. And they can't get shot by the enemy Fair. Just bad pathing here from the Chengdu Hunter. And he just plops it down and gets insta-killed. 0 value from that Bongo. And Shanghai Dragons is still snowballing. They've also killed Yveltal. Oh, this is looking bad for the Chengdu Hunters. They're falling apart, chat. They're completely falling apart to Ding's Farah and the Shanghai Dragons' aggression. Bob comes out, but again, you can LOS him, and sleep him, and hack him. Bob doesn't do too much. Yveltal also dies, and Dragon just pushing the cart still. They're probably gonna be able to cap this. Void is doing a great job spamming for Jinmu. Doesn't end up finding him. Oh, oh, he finds his translocator. Wow. Well, and they hack Elsa on the point. And they're just gonna win it here. Wow, what an incredible time bank for the Shanghai Dragons. And that was all because Hunters were only able to get one fight on each point. And Dragons just kept using their ults before Chengdu Hunters could even set up. Very rough. There were also some times where Chengdu just wasn't disciplined enough, and they didn't wait for their whole team, and then they didn't die on point when they needed to. That was definitely a rule. Mr. Lake the Memer. And wow. But we see from the length of this map, we see from how long this map takes, that Chengdu is also going to pose a very good attack here. I think. I don't think a map gets to 24 minutes. Well, this could have been an attack if it doesn't go to at least free. So we've got more in store here. And we'll see. The Dragons are playing the same comp on defense as they were in attack, except they swapped out the Winston for the Orisa, which I think is very, very interesting. I'm not too sure. I guess the Orisa is a lot better at stopping the cart, which is kind of Fearless's job here. So that makes a lot of sense. And the Hunters are going to play the exact same comp. They're going to mirror the Shanghai Dragons. Let's see if Ameng stays. Jinmu insta dies. And then Evil Tog gets hacked. He's going to die as well. I don't think there can be a worse start. Okay, let's watch this in slow-mo. They're gonna go out bottom. Jinmu propels himself up. He gets shot twice by Luffy, who's been having a great game on Ana. He's going to get shot again. And Lip's going to uncloak, dome him, and then Yveltal's going to get hacked. And so Lip gets 30% on his ult. Okay, good start here for the Dragons. Okay. This time, Jinwoo has learned. He's going to roll out left side now. And while all this is going on, Lee is all the way behind the enemy team. He's going to put his translocator here somewhere. And he's going to look for hacks, I imagine. Yeah, he's put his translocator. He's going to look for hack opportunities. Elsa and Ameng are on point. And again, both fairs using this aerial cover here. And fighting each other mostly. Luffy is doing a very, very good job of shooting the enemy fair too and pressuring her. Okay. Let's look at the positionings here. The cart has arrived in the arch. A lot of the Chengdu Hunters is still around the arch. It's very interesting. Lip is going for hacks again. And I guess they're kind of just waiting for a leave to set something up. But if you look at it, Lip is already at 80% of his ult. So doing a very good job to farm that. 97%. Leave is only at 45%, mind you, because he was setting up all this time. Now behind the enemy team. Oh, but he gets forced out instantly by Luffy. So he's not been getting too much value so far. And Lip already has his EMP. Oh, Yveltal gets pulled. gets hacked too, so Void should be able to kill him. Oh, but Molly's healing him just in time. Ooh, that's rough. Nice eat there from Void, but Jinmu gets nanoed, and Jinmu apparently just says, fuck, I'll kill. Dodges thing. Oh, a nice air rocket there onto Ding. Another air rocket, and then he gets nanoed. This goes up in his face. Shits on Ding. Then Luffy's hacked in the back. That's on him too. And yeah. Because of a nice nano onto Jinmu, who did a great job dueling Ding there. They're going to take this point. With only one ult, only the nano as well. And Luffy actually also used the nano. I'm not sure who he used it on. But great fight there for the Hunters. Just Molly or Jinmu really winning that 1v1 duel. Hitting a lot of directs. And now going up to Fearless and shooting him in the face. Luffy's not here yet. Shanghai Dragons do a decent job staying alive though. And this time, Ding is able to get the direct onto Jinmu. Evil's probably going to get the res though. Gets it. Nice res from him. Nice mid-air res too. You kind of do that by tracking the falling Ferret corpse. And like getting it perfectly, right? Good mid-air res. Good mercy mechanics. He's able to live and leave while all this is going on. Solo kills Luffy. That's a very, very good kill. Is he gonna get the hack? Oh, Luffy's already had to nade himself because he's been randomly spammed. And then he uncloaks, knows the enemy Anna doesn't have nade. Luffy misses the sleep. DM comes out from Void. And then Void kind of stops body blocking for Luffy. Lee was able to get the kill. Very nice job by him. Also, good job not shooting Void to make sure he has enough ammo in his clip to kill Luffy. Oh, and Lip gets picked on the back end of that. Even though Luffy gets res, another one of the Shanghai Dragons falls, and they're not able to set up as much as they did on the attack. And the Hunters have not used any ults. They're still on 6 ults. Fearless has made the swap over to the Winston. Bull comes out for aiming. The bongo comes out for aiming. Very early bongo, actually. I don't know if I like this bongo. I guess Fearless is going in. Void's bombing. Doesn't hit the bongo, though. And Lip ends up killing Leaf because he was able to hack him. But the bongo's still up. Fearless gets pulled by aiming. Able to kill him. Oh, and Molly able to get the kill on Ding. And Ding was really aggressive there. He was very, very far forward. Void just barely lives. Ding gets rezzed. Oh, that was actually, must have been a good res. With the Valkyrie. And the EMP comes out. The Nano Burrow. Wow, but they use so many ults. They use 4 ults at the same time. For a defense, that's not great. I guess they did cap with 3 minutes, but Nano Barrage and the EMP there While Hunters only use the nano, really. Bad. And maybe they were pressured into doing so. But... Oh, Amang swapped back over to the Winston. Which wasn't good last map. But let's keep an eye on it this map. Oh. Thing's able to randomly kill Lee. I guess was lost his translocator. This is what I've noticed Samras do a lot. They hunt for the enemy Samra translocator, and then once they find it, they tell their team, hey, enemy Samra translocator's down. Let's go, you know? So likely what, yeah. You see how once Leave uncloaks, that's when Lip kills his translocator too? Because if you just kill his translocator, Leave's not going to go in here. He only goes in because he thinks he is safe because his translocator's there. But little does he know, Lip's hunting. You know, he's hunting for that translocator and he kills it all the way back here. So that is something, when you have downtime as Sombra, you can look for the enemy translocator. And it's another advantage of being the defender, right? Because you are the defender, you've already set up your translocator before the enemy team. And then you can go hunt their translocator. So great job there from Lip to find that. Requires a lot of map knowledge and requires a lot of knowledge of Sombra, where she is likely to put them. And then he also hacks Jinmu. Another good fight for Shanghai. Well, Hunters had a bunch of ults there, right? Still have their EMP and their barrage and their Valk. So losing fights where you have an ult advantage is the worst thing that can happen to you. They didn't end up using any ults, but now Dragons were able to farm up a bunch of their own, right? They already have the Winston ult, they're going to be close to D.Va ult, they have Nano, close to EMP, right? Well, before Leave got picked there, they weren't close to any of those. So again, Jinmu hits a nice direct onto Ding, goes in, doesn't get the second hit, and actually, okay, doesn't die, but he is close to dying. And Fearless goes deep. Fearless gets solo EMP'd, which honestly, that's probably worth, because Fearless had his ultimate. Oh, but wait, but Fearless gets nanoed. But then it's definitely not worth. Because now he is going to just nano, walk in. And he still has his ult. So nice nano there from Luffy onto Fearless. And Luffy's had a great game so far. And now, if you look at the ult situation, the Dragons have the EMP again. Even though they've had to use 2 ults here to counter just the EMP. I think EMP is such a good ult. Actually been pretty good. That trade. Oh, Amang jumps in, gets slept instantly. And then also, Lip gets a 5-man EMP. A really good EMP. This is why I don't like Nano Winston that much. Because if he gets slept, it's very rough. Let's see how that actually happens. Like, I think Nano Farah is really strong. Especially because she has the ult here too. Molly builds his ult. He has full HP. Oh, and then they also do it while Amang has no shield. Oh, but Amang, yeah, just dives up. Doesn't have shield. So he's asking to either get hacked or slept. I don't like this dive because he has no shield here. Really easy to sleep a Winston. It has no shield, right? Lip comes out with the EMP. It's 5 people like we said earlier. And that should... Oh, but the target focus from Dragons actually kind of split. Watch that again. Yeah, they get this great EMP. Lip nearly gets hacked out of it, but he gets it first. And then Void's actually flying out currently. Fair Mercy gets EMP'd. But Molly is the only one not EMP'd, and he's in a pretty good spot to heal everybody. But Fearless goes on the backline here, while Lip is actually shooting Elsa. So I think Fearless should probably also be shooting Elsa, because Elsa has his ult. So he's a great target. I'm not sure why Fearless decides to focus down the supports here, because Elsa's actually able to get out with 1 HP, right? Fearless ulti does get Jinmu, so very nice job by him to end up killing him. It wasn't that bad after all. Aiming uses his ult. Gets slept again. So Aiming is a narcoleptic at this point. Getting slept on cooldown. The Dragons actually holding. So far, so good. They're doing a really good job. Another great EMP that last fight. Luffy's hitting some great sleeps on Aiming. Hunters now, Pharah ult, EMP. So they only have EMP advantage over the Hunters. Hunters otherwise have more ults and better ults. They have the Nano Barrage. And Dragons have been doing a great job on this last point defense. Dive onto Luffy. Completely succeeds this time. See how that happened. Molly is set up again in his little spot. Then Luffy gets hit by something. Gets hit by a rocket, I guess. Yeah, gets hit by the AoE of a rocket. Has to nade, gets hit by another rocket, and then the dive comes. So he just dies to that rocket, kind of. Lee J gone. Goes for the res. Gets it too, but dies. That's really bad. 2 dies here, Valkyrie Mercy. Maybe he could have like played a little bit slower with that. Oh, and then Lip also ends up dying. So even though they nanoed Ding, not great. Not too great. Okay. Void goes for Diva Bomb to kind of stall the point here, but Leave, while this is going on, goes for EMP. Who does he get though? Watch that real quick. Yeah, he gets it off. He doesn't get hacked out. He gets Luffy and Lip. Nice dodge from Fearless to dodge the EMP. And then he has to TP out. So not too great of an EMP because there's no follow-up for the Chengdu Hunters because they had to dodge that Diva Bomb. Nice Diva Bomb from Void. And then A-Man gets nanoed again. This time he's probably not going to get slept, right? Oh, he does get hacked though. Jinmu dies. But Ding also dies. And Lee Jae-gon dies. 2 Dingmu. Or 2 Jinmu. Good fight for Chengdu. And kind of feels like Jinwoo is kind of winning the air fight here still. Like if we go back here, he actually ends up killing the enemy Mercy really well. He dodges the bomb. Wow, what just happened? That went so quick. So he shoots. Lee Jae-gon flies up, gets killed, and then Ding comes in. But because Lee Jae-gon is dead, Evo told him to whip out the Glock and kill Ding. So great hold for the Dragons on the second point. They actually held that for like 4 minutes. And the end of second point is actually very hard to attack. Now the Dragons have a bunch of ults though. And the Hunters only have 1 minute left. There is the EMP for the Dragons. Bunch of ults. While Hunters have both tank ults and their Pharah ult. But no EMP and no support ults. They're not looking too good for the Chengdu Hunters. Especially if Lip can set up a good aggressive EMP here. But before anything happens, Luffy dies. So Luffy's been the access point here for the Hunters. Where Molly's been pretty free. Leave has been able to set up really well to kill Luffy, really. Hacks him, dodges the sleep, and then yeah. Nice hack. EMP comes out then for Lip. But he only gets the Mercy. Not too good of an EMP. He wants the EMP very fast though, like we saw earlier. But if Lip doesn't die here, that's not worth. And Lip actually slides off the roof really well. And now Molly dies. Luffy gets rezzed. So it's a 6v5, an advantage of the Chengdu. Or 5v5 now. Ameng ults. Luffy pops the frick off. So he gets rezzed. And then he kills both the Pharah and the Mercy. A nice res there from Lee Jae-gon. Oh, he's just last hitting people. But good shots either way. And without Pharah Mercy here on the side of the Hunters. Oh, Luffy gets another one. Dude, Luffy gets a free K. The Hunters are now going to swap because, as I said before, the Pharah is not very good on this inside, especially when you're retaking. Ding is going to stay because they have the Nano Barrage and the Valkyrie, so you don't really want to swap off 2 ultimates. If they did just the Barrage, maybe, but still, Nano Barrage is such a good combo that it makes sense that he's staying. And they actually insta-kill Ameng with that, so that really shows the value of how good Nano Barrage. He gets hacked. He also gets Diva bombed. But he's okay to get Fearless though, who had ult. Really bad for Shanghai. After that Ameng kill, they should kind of be winning this fight. Oh, Fearless got slept. Okay. Nice sleep from Molly. And yeah, Fearless just gets executed. Jae-gon goes for the res. Nice res. I guess, yeah, Evilto obviously swapped off the Mercy, so he's not going to have a res. So it's a 6v5 right now for the Dragons. They should really be pushing their advantage. They have the Winston ult. They can dive deep, right? But Leaf has ultimate, almost gets forced out. Oh, Fearless gets hacked again. Oh, and then Fearless gets hacked again, so he's still not able to use his ult. Lee Jae-gon did pop his Mercy ult though. Oh, Fearless is gonna die before he Fearless is not having a good time right now. He's just not having it. He gets hacked 3 times in a row. And then gets EMP. Oh, nice nade there from Luffy. Almost kills Leaf, and Molly's 1 HP. Amang was able to come back on the wrecking ball meanwhile. Oh, Jinmu also dies. So even though Dragons still have both tank ults, they've just not been able to use them. Now Fearless goes in and ults, but he gets slept. Fearless is not having a good time, and he gets hacked again. Poor Fearless, dude. He's getting wrecked so hard. Oh, and now he dies. Heming ends up killing Ding. EMP comes out. Big EMP for Lip. Actually, it's 4 people. Bomb comes out too. But Amang's popping off on the wrecking ball on the comeback here. They nano the Sombra, but they have nobody to touch card. So what was a terrible terrible start to that last point, and a really bad second point from the Hunters turned into a great overtime fight for them, where Amang was able to swap to the wrecking ball, come back in time, and they clutched out. But if you look at the time banks here, it's not looking too good for the Hunters. The Dragons have 5 minutes, while the Hunters only have 1. That means the Dragons can lose 4 or 5 fights in a row, and then they finally have the same time bank as the Hunters, which isn't great. Really not. So let's see what the picks are here. Okay, so now the Hunters are rolling out on this same comp, but now they're playing the Ashe. And I felt like Leaf was doing great on the Sombra, and he wasn't able to have any impact as Ashe at all. So I'm not sure why they picked the Ashe here. Sombra would also snowball better than the Ashe because the Sombra also incredibly strong, right? Let's say you win first fight and then you farm EMP, and then you win second fight with EMP, and then you win third fight with Nano Barrage, and you win fourth fight with EMP again, right? That's how they could snowball it. But Bob is just not that great of an ultimate. So I'm not entirely sure why they're deciding to go on the Ashe, specifically on the attack, where it's hard to get her in a position, right? But it is the Hunters we're talking about here. Okay, so Fearless is on the Orisa again. Thing is above the enemy team spamming currently. And Lip's actually doing a great job spamming the enemy team from behind right now. He's going to get forced out. Hunters rotate high ground. Hunters have to touch point. Okay, Elsa is point bot right now. Where's Lee? Oh, he's fighting Lip. Okay. Lip does have to blink out. Top left. This is a pretty good angle for the Ashe if you can get this angle on the Fair Mercy. But Molly's actually gone really low to Ding. But Jinmu's able to get Lee J gone. So again, it's Ding who's trying to go for the Ashe. And meanwhile, Lee J Gong kind of gets killed by both Molly and Jinmu together. Now Jinmu is dunking on Luffy over here. Gets hacked, but he's already done his work. He's done his job. Almost dies. But look at the space right now for the Chengdu Hunters. They've pushed out. They're able to capture all this space. Yveltal is even rezzing this. And well, both supports are dead for the Dragons. So this first point should kind of be in the pocket here for the Hunters, which is great, right? It sets them up for a snowball. But if you look at the EMP, it's on pretty high charge already. And EMP is a really good ult when the enemy team has to sit on point because of overtime. My guess is AMAG's gonna have to kind of anchor that while the rest of the team goes for plays. Leave still also sitting near the point, and this Ashe has really not been doing too much for the Hunters. They nano Jinmu, very aggressive play. Then they also nano Ding on the other side. Because they don't want Ding to get dunked. Ding goes in on Leave. Jinmu goes in on Ding. Everyone is pocketing the Pharahs right now. That is incredibly funny. And then Lip's gonna go for the EMP here, because he's just translocated up. Ding actually even got the enemy Ashe before he gets slept. Amang didn't get his Fortify off before the EMP. So something you can do as Orisa is just before you get hacked or EMP, you can press that shift button, and that shift button will make it so you have that 40% damage reduction right for 4 seconds, which almost is the duration of the hack. You really have to, in reaction to the EMP, just like how you can Transcendence, in reaction to the EMP, try to get that shift out. And a C9 happens, but honestly that fight was already lost for the Chengdu Hunters as soon as Amang died. They've still got a bunch of ults, but you see how Void's ult's coming out, and Liu Gon's ulting, and he's just got the res. Oh yeah, decent attack for the Hunters, to be honest, considering they had 1 minute. That's good. I would have just rather not seen them on the Ashe though. I would have rather seen them on the Sombra. Either way, go on to the Dragons attack, who have 5 minutes. That's a lot of minutes. Okay, so they're playing the same comp again. Hunters is playing this Ashe. I like it more on defense though, because then the enemy team has to push into you. The Dynamite does a lot more, and you're generally able to get more headshots. The enemy team has to push the cart. Also, Ashe is buffed on this patch. Not sure if that makes Ashe 100% viable, but those were nice quality of life buffs. Oh, and Leave just gets a nice dink onto Ding. Takes him out. Jinmu also takes out Liu Gon, who cannot get the rest because of it. First fight's lost here for the Dragons. But Luffy again. This just seems to be a Dragons classic strategy right now. Make your tanks take damage, farm nano, win game. Or win fight at least. Oh, but Lip ends up dying. But they're going to go ahead and farm nano boost. They just have to wait for their pieces to be there. Okay, Ding gets nano boosted. Goes very aggressive. But he's not able to connect with anyone. Meanwhile, Luffy's died. Ding's still trying to get those direct rockets onto Jinmu, but he's playing very far away. This isn't looking too good. Yeah, Ding even ends up dying. So maybe a little too reaching here from Dragons to nano Ding, who was so far away. Right, because if you look at the Dragons right now, Fearless is zapping people. Ding is still incredibly far away. They have the nano boost. Ding E's in, but Jinmu's able to E away. So that's really what If that rocket had connected, Jinmu would have just died from that, you know? Because of the damage boost plus the nano. Is able to one-shot the enemy fair. Why nano fair is good, right? But Jinmu does get out. Do you think Ashe is viable in these type of comps, even with Widow back? No. I think Ashe is better now because of her buff, but I really feel like she was played on maps like this, and by the Valiant because of the Kree and Widow being out, and the Ashe being able to kind of aid in that spam comp, and the Ashe also being very good against rush comps from the enemy team. Because if she gets that dynamite on a lot of people, she's great, right? And especially because Sigma... Wait, this might... Okay, because Sigma Orisa is being played, there's no Diva Matrix. But I don't think Ashe is viable, no. And even here, I don't think Ashe has been that great for the Hunters. I think the Sombras is better. And this is an incredible map for Ashe too, because there's a lot of high ground she can play from, right? She kind of has that Widow mentality where she wants to play in the back and just shoot people. But yeah. I think Widow's better at that than Ashe is. Okay, Fearless goes for a flank. He gets on top of Molly, and he has his ultimate. Oh, Leave gets hacked. Fearless able to ult him. The bongo comes out here for Amang. Fearless tossing people around. They have to nano boost Leave, because otherwise he was going to die. Oh, that's going on. Elsa actually gets slept over there by Luffy, who again has been having a great match. Luffy does actually end up dying though. I guess I cursed him. And oh, Fearless gets Yveltal, but this fight does still seem lost. So this time Shanghai Dragons should win the sky battle, but fight is lost because the Hunters were able to kill Luffy. Luffy's most of the healing gone, and they were also able to keep Leave alive through the Winston ult. But now Molly's used Nano. Now Jinmu has used his ult. Now Leave has also used Bob. And Amang has also used his ult. There's only 2 ultimates up for the Chengdu Hunters. Diva Bomb is somewhat of a playmaker ult, right? But Mercy ult's mostly reactive. While the Dragons have 4 ultimates and EMP. Really, really strong. So even if you kind of messing up with the Sombra, they had a lot of stagger kills early on, right? At some point, you're going to get EMP. And, you know, if the enemy team splits like this, you don't have to EMP, right? But just the pressure from the EMP from Lip forces the Hunters to split like this. Lip actually goes for a really early EMP. But again, Amang is not able to fortify before the EMP goes off. So he's just going to die likely. Oh, he actually lives. Oh, so very nice retreat. And good pocket from both Molly and Yveltal. I think that was a little too early of an EMP for Lip. And Ding actually ends up dying to Jinmu again. So Jinmu really aerial superiority secured by Jinmu. Oh, so it's actually mostly Molly hitting Jinmu and maybe Leave hitting Jinmu instead of Jinmu just double rocketing him, you know? Yeah, not too good of an EMP there. Thing does get res. Nice res by Lee Jae Gon. But still, they've used the EMP. Gotten nothing. Diva Bomb comes out. It's going to kill Jinmu, maybe? Oh, it does not, but it does kill Leaf. Wait, how does it kill Leaf? He has a coach gun. He can get away. Oh, he drops? Oh. That's rough, dude. He had a nice placement on the Diva Bomb. But the fact that Leaf dropped from here kind of screwed him over. Like, Leaf is kind of on the high ground here. He's chasing after Fearless, which makes sense. But then him dropping screws him over. The Diva Bomb comes out. And maybe he should have Coach Gun back and used this cover. But it's really hard to react at this point, right? He tries to get away. Doesn't get away. And great placement from Void. Right above the fountain. Which hits the entire point. Wow. He's definitely been spending time into those Diva Bomb practice lobbies. Void really clutches that point for Shanghai because that EMP was not good. And their Mercy ult also wasn't getting big value. So Void coming in clutch. Gets both Elsa and Leaf. And Elsa was able to Diva Bomb, but not as good a Diva Bomb as Void got. Oh, and Hunters swapped their whole comp. Hunters panic. They have to get the point. They're slow, right? So they're going to swap over to the Lucio. And now they're only going to have Nano Boost. And there's Nano Barrage for the Dragons. Well, Nano Barrage comes out very early, and as you can see, Molly insta dies to it. Luffy actually dies to Nano Boosted Amang. But thing kind of fucking. Now that there's no fair to contest him. And yeah, so the Shanghai Dragons win this map. And that was a very, very long map. Really, what screwed Chengdu over was their first defense. Like, that was not a good defense. They just got snowballed. They got staggered, killed. Very good proactive ults from the Shanghai Dragons. And yeah, not good disciplined play from the Chengdu Hunters. And I don't think the Ashe did too much for them throughout all the times they played it. So I would have rather seen them stick on the Sombra for both the attacks and the defenses. So let us get into this. And I think Lip has been great on the Sombra until he has the EMP, yeah. But yeah, let's go into this Hollywood map. We see, again, the Dragons are playing this comp, but they are playing the Ashe again instead of the Sombra. And then Dragons are playing the Mirror with the Pharah 2, but they have the Hammond and the Sombra. And really, I love the Hammond. I absolutely love this pick because look at these DPS. Who's gonna deal with Hammond, right? This is the dream team to play Hammond into. There is no CC, only the Hammond or the Orisa pull. You'd rather not use that on a Hammond anyway. And they're going to be decently clumped up. So this is the perfect time to pick Hammond. Hammond is generally very bad into Sombra and Mei. But great into Pharah and Widow and Hanzo, right? So, and into Ashe, obviously. A good pick there for Fearless. I love it. And that's going to force Leave to have to swap to Sombra sometime in the future too, I think. Which he might not be comfortable on. Lip goes straight for Leave. Gets him to 1 HP and then Fearless comes in and finishes him off. So great start for the Hunters. Lip also actually hacks Molly. Wow. This is already great for the Dragons, right? They've already got the Fair Mercy in play. They've got control of Cafe now. The Hammond is a great pick. Again, the Mercy is not with the Fair right now, so she has to play safe. So a lot of space already taken for the Dragons just because of the Hammond pick, I feel, and because Lip was able to do so much with the Sombra. Fearless does get slept, however. Lip is just farming his EMP back there. What else is going on? Ding and Lee Jae-gon are fighting Jinmu, and Jinmu dies because, again, Yveltal is trying to get this res onto Molly, and I think he did get it. Because Molly's back up, obviously. Oh, I can't move, okay. Because Molly is back up. Oh wait, never mind. Molly never died. Leave is the one that died. So he's trying to get the res on Leave. It's a little too late. He's trying to heal his team. But had to leave Jinmu. Now Jinmu dies, and then at that point you're 2 down, being the Hunters, and it's both your DPS that are dead. Leave actually makes a swap over to Tracer. Tracer's pretty good into this Dragon's comp, right? He can duel Luffy, but really what they need, I feel, is the Sombra to deal with the Hammond. Okay, they come back in, they kill Lee Jae-gon. Yveltal does end up dying. So does Molly, so does Luffy. So Amang alphaing on the Orisa right now. It's a 2 for 2. Elsa dies. So yeah. Dragons is going to clean this up in a messy fight, but they didn't have to use any ults for it. And as you can see, the Hunter is making big swaps. They've swapped off their Fair, they've swapped off their Mercy, and the Mercy was decently far and ult, right? They've also swapped off the Ashe, so that's 3 swaps. And now the Dragon's ult turret is looking really strong too. Okay, so they are probably going to get... Is Chengdu going to get a contest here? Oh, Leave is able to touch. They're definitely going for it. Leave gets hacked. Oh, and this is bad. This is real bad for Chengdu. I don't think they should have gone for that, because now they might stagger too. There's no speed on the Dragons. So the speed from Yveltal actually helps them get out. But good target focus onto Leave there, who is touching the point. And if you look at the ults, Dragons have 6 ults right now. Aming's had to swap off his Orisa too, and he was really close to ult. So this full swap here from the Hunters is not great. Oh, Molly's now also swapped off his ult. But they swapped 6 characters, guys. That's not pretty Overwatch. Or 5 characters, I guess, because they started on the Diva. But they're on a counter comp now. But Dragons have 6 ults. So even if you're countering, if you're 6 ults to 1, you should not be winning the next fight. Oh. Which allows Dragons to kind of snowball this. Or they should allow Dragons to snowball this, because obviously I don't know. EMP comes out really early again. EMP barrage, actually. They win the fight off that. Oh, Fearless does end up dying. Let's get rest though. Not too good. Dragons only used 2 ults to win that fight, and they still have 4 ultimates, while the Hunters only have to bomb. Jinmu actually farmed that EMP really fast. I think he farmed Fearless really hard. So it's starting to look a little better for Hunters, but they're able to get Leave as a very late pick. I think that was set up by the hack from Lip. Question mark? No. Leave just kind of gets caught between a rock and a hard place. Let's see how that happened actually from his POV. He's with his team. He's trying to deny res. He's the only one doing so. Oh, and then he kind of just messes up his blinks. He tries to get back inside, but doesn't have his recall. Gets chased down more. Yeah, it's just gonna die. He even tries to do a stylistic bomb on the Pharaoh, but misses. That's very bad. Like, I think it was trying to just blink back into the saloon there, but whiffed. Yveltal's now also hacked. So he could also get staggered. And this is going from bad to worse for the Chengdu Hunters. And they're getting staggered just like on the last map. Yeah, they full swapped their comp. And they're also getting staggered. Dragons is still only have to use 2 ults so far at this point. Fearless uses the Hammond mines. Very good spread on those mines. Let's see where this Jinmu ult comes out. Oh, we actually ults 4 people here. So very, very good ult from him. He gets Ding, Fearless, Void, and Lip. And does he hack the Hammond mines? Do they get hacked mid-air or not? I think they're not hacked. Okay, so you need to wait until they're on the ground to be able to hack them, I guess. The more you know. Lip does end up dying because he got hacked. Oh, Lee Jae-gon's go for the res, but a nice hack from Jinmu. Cancels that. Ding is also still hacked. He's gotten the nano boost and he's now unhacked. The void bomb comes out. So now all the ults are coming out from the dragons. They're only 1 down so far, so this is definitely still winnable. Molly's used a shift. He's going to live. Okay, so now it's looking pretty good for the Hunters. Yeah, they're going to likely clean up this fight now that they're 2 up. But yeah, really good EMP there from Jinmu. Seems to be the better anti-Sombra player for the Hunters. Whereas Leaf is more of the Tracer, Hanzo, Widow. I guess not Widow even. Kree, I guess, player. Okay. So dragons get control of high ground completely. That's very good for them. Lee Jae-gon getting spammed pretty hard. The EMP comes out for a lip. But again, I don't like because he didn't get the Lucio. They are barraging with it. So let's see if this barrage actually gets stuff. Because it is the EMP barrage combo that we should be looking at right now. And yeah, they are able to get Else out of his mech instantly. But Yveltal still gets his beat off. So that's definitely not worth. Yeah, this has happened multiple times now where Lip has his ult. He knows Yveltal, or he should know Yveltal's ult, right? We don't know if he knew. Yveltal is hiding, and Lip just ults, and then he gets counter beated. And then the Hunters win the fight because of that. I think if you are a Sombra player, right? PSA to all these Sombra players. Just don't use ult unless you can get the Lucio in your ultimate. Or you can EMP off the beat, right? Or you know that the Lucio's super far away. Those are like the free exceptions. But if the Lucio is able to ult when your EMP happens and he comes around this low corner, let's say, you know, you EMP inside of here, Lucio is able to EMP, or you EMP 5 people, and then Lucio comes in with his little beat, hits everybody with the beat. That's not worth, because the Lucio literally cannot ult when you have your EMP up. So be patient, you know, unless you can get the Lucio. Why Sombra ult? Because the Lucio is in prison. He's in EMP prison if you just hold on to that EMP. Hello, Why nope. Wow, I don't know how to say your name. You're gonna have to help a brother out. So yeah, this EMP here from Lip, just not good in my opinion. Because now he gets free people with the EMP, right? Great. But because of that, Yveltal is able to now beat these free people, while otherwise, if you just hold on to the EMP, you're good. So not a good EMP. Can you beat aggro to force EMP? That's even worse, because then Lip can just EMP, and then he gets all your beat off, right? And he still hacks people. The only time you can EMP is if you know the Sombra just got forced out and he's very far away. Or if the Sombra's dead, right? It's a Whoa Yankee. Okay, very fair. I'll try to remember that. Yeah, EMP cancels beat. That's why there's this whole 1v1 game between the Sombra and the Lucio, right? And this is the greatest beat ever for Yveltal. He's only not able to get Amang, who was just outside of the door, but if he was inside of the door, he would have been good, you know? Anyway, Lip also ended up dying there. Where is Amang? Amang is just outside. He's trying to dive high ground, but... Oh, he's also slept. So Amang, again, not great dive. He's a narcoleptic. Keeps getting slept. I think even if he... Yeah, and he gets the EMP there too. But Ding and Lip end up dying because of that EMP. That was just too rushed. Too rushed there by Dragons. They need to just hold on to that EMP. And even though they get Elsa here, the spawns are closer for the Hunters. So it has to be a massive fuck up from the Hunters to still lose this. Amang gets back. He dives the high ground again. Is he gonna get slept? He slept again. Every single time. Amang just gets slept. And I think it's because Amang and Elsa are never diving together. Normally your diva can maybe, you know, matrix to sleep. Or Amang is like diving too far, you know, or he's diving without shield, or he's not playing around his shield properly. He's obviously not comfortable on the Winston. And oh my god, he's getting slipped every single time he jumps the backline, and it hurts my eyes, guys. He slept again. He's gonna get hacked and killed. He still has ultimate. Look at what they've done to Amang. From a prodigy on Hammond to an inter on Winston. And the EMP comes out here for the Hunters. They hack 3. But Ding has also killed Molly. So Amang and Molly are now both dead. Even though this EMP is great, right? The nanos come out. Luffy's not hacked. Lee J Gun's still on the high ground. So even though he's hacked, he's fine. And yeah, that's... Wow. Even though the EMP was very bad, and so was the Pharah ult, somehow the Chengdu Hunters are not able to win that. And it's mostly because Amang got shut down so hard. Twice he wasn't able to ult. Good hacks from Lip onto Amang at least. Now Lip now has another EMP actually. Holy moly. Oh, Amang was able to ult. You're a fan of the Hunters? Bye. Well, they did decently this match. It's just that Shanghai is really good. Bye-bye. Okay. So Lip comes in with the EMP. He wants to hit Ameng with it before Ameng ults. But I think Ameng is able to ult in reaction here to the EMP, which is very good. Yeah, he ults just as the EMP comes out. So nice job by Ameng to get that off this time. But he's still hacked, right? So he still can't do too much. And as a classic narcoleptic would do, he takes another nap. Yveltal does end up dying. Lee gone, goes for a res on Ding, gets it. Dragons are now at a 6v5. Ameng will likely end up dead again. Oh, he's able to jump out. Oh, he's getting. Oh, he's gonna live. He's done it this time. He's escaped. Eva Bomb comes in for Elsa. Doesn't hit anybody though. Pretty good placement on that, as he hit both sides of a choke, right? It was like this. But there's just a lot of cover here on this map. So not able to get either Luffy or Lip because Lip TP's out. Ding is kind of doing a lot on this fair here, even though fair on this last point isn't too great. He's just able to snowball it so far. And Ameng has just not been able to get value out of this Winston. Again, he's had to use bubble somewhere where he can't do anything, you know. Beat comes out for Yveltal, which is great because one, Ding is barraging right now, and two, Lip didn't have his ultimate yet. A really nice job farming the beat really fast by Yveltal. Ameng still dies though to Ding's ultimate. Yeah, so beat comes out. Ding is his. Oh, a nice bubble comes in from Fearless actually. Ding is going to die here though. So good beat from Hunters. From Yveltal really enables that. Jinwoo's forced out again. 1 for 1. The EMP comes out, and that's a great EMP that hits 4 people. Jinwoo's forced out. Let's see, Fearless, does he have jump? He doesn't yet. But still, that's a really good EMP for Lip. And this time he doesn't have to worry about the mind games between the Lucio and himself. Okay. Jinwoo EMPs. Only gets Lip and Void though, and he instantly has to translocate out. So not the best of EMPs there. Dragons are also nanoing Ding again. And this is actually a really good spot to hold for the Hunters if they were able to win this fight, right? Like you see a lot of full holds here because the chokes are so hard to get through. But as you can see, Dragons is not letting that happen, and they're going mega aggressive through the choke just so they can't get held there. Luffy gets stickied, so nice sticky there from Lee. Thank you for the follow ball, Overwatch. Huge. Continue. And Molly ends up dying too. Hello, gamer. I'm sure you are sad to see that Ameng has been forced off the Hammond by the Vile Sombra pick right here, which every Hammond main wants to see banned. And Ameng is now feeding on the Winston. But yeah, let us continue. So Hunters again, they are going for a very rushy comp, right? They're probably assuming that the Dragons are just going to play this same comp again because they've been doing it the whole game, right? Especially the Samba has been a struggle to deal with for the Hunters. Lip's been able to get so many hacks off. And interesting that Fearless decides to go Winston here instead of the Orisa, which he did on the Dorado defense. But good overall, right? And generally, this Hunter's comp is a very, very good counter, right? You can play very, very fast, especially if you can set up flanks onto Luffy. He has to either play really, really far back, or he can get dove. So yeah, they're already setting up flanks with Leave right here. He is getting contested though by Sombra, but Tracer should win the 1v1 against Sombra. Yeah, he forces him out. And that's very good. Luffy, however, is playing on the high ground over here. Holy crap, what is that? That is really far back, but that's smart, I think. Because I guess the Winston can dive from here to here, but that's a really awkward dive, and the Mercy can easily help Luffy up here, right? Lee J gone can easily help Luffy there. So especially with the Mercy, it makes a lot of sense to play up here, because otherwise you're going to play on top calf, and then you get dived, and then you have to drop, and then you're out of the Mercy line of sight. So it makes a lot of sense to play up there. Good spot. It's only bad against like Widowmaker, right? Guess it's hard against Fair, but Hunters is not playing fair. But yeah, Luffy in a great spot. And that's like one of the win conditions for the Hunters, right? Get on top of the enemy team's Anna and kill her. Another win condition is just going on the tanks, because you have more damage in like a really quick fights. But if the fights go very long, then Ding is going to get really high value. It's a good fair point because there's a lot of aerial cover. Molly goes really low and just dies. And let's see what the Dragon or the Chengdu Hunters actually ended up diving there. They get control of high ground. And they end up hacking Void. But I don't think Void is a very good target because he has so much armor and he's just a large HP pool. But you can't really dive anyone else, so it's just rough. Maybe you can send your diva after the enemy Mercy. Good setup though from the Dragons. But yeah, Ameng puts his bubble onto Void, and Void's just getting pocketed by both supports. Oh, Yvel's actually is trying to go onto Luffy, but Luffy alphas him with the sleep. Watch that. Wow. Luffy's like, I'll boop him, guys. Guys, I'll boop him down, and then we can go kill him. Luffy's like, nope. Okay, and that does end the fight there for the Hunters. And again, ults are very much in favor for the Dragons here. Like, EMP is an insane ult. Nano Barrage is a great combo. They're ahead in ults, right? Same tank ults. Nano is a pretty damn good ult too. Only really Moira ults coming up for the Hunters. EMP starting to get pretty close. But Dragon should be able to easily win the next fight off of one of those big ultimates, you know? And it's pretty hard to get this take. Leave again, forcing out Lip over here, which is great. Oh, he does get his recall forced out. Oh, he kills, what? Lip's too greedy. Too damn greedy. And once he got the recall, it was good. Did his translocator get destroyed? Oh, he just can't take it yet. Wait, he can't, what? He should be able to take it. It's up. Okay, so he's good on that. He just can't throw another one. He gets the recall. Tries to go for the hack. But then he just doesn't TP out. Wow. Too greedy. Oh, and that's disaster. Why is Luffy down? Did he get booped? Did Yveltal succeed in his mission? Or is he trying to help Lip? Oh, Lip even got the nade. Oh, he's trying to help Lip. Oh, he should have just trusted Lip. Oh, he misses the shot. Yikes. So, Luffy was probably like, hey, Lip, I'm gonna go help you. No problem, man. If he hits the heal there, then Lip can probably 1v1 leave. But because he misses that heal, Luffy's on the ground and Lip's dead. That's the worst case scenario here. 4 hunters. And they're now also coalescing. Lee Jae-gon pops his Valkyrie. But okay, there is still a lot of ults for the dragons here. Thing gets nanoed. Barrage comes out. He insta-kills Aiming. Didn't have his ult yet. He didn't have his bubble. So not much there he can do there. Oh, he's also might get Yveltal here. Nope, he won't. Oh, and Lip gets rezzed actually. That's good. Oh, so are the dragons now 6 again? Yeah, everybody's up. So nice res there and a nice nano barrage. But they did have to spend 4 ultimates. 2, the one for Molly and I guess the pulse bomb, but so pretty good fight for the hunters actually, all things considered. It's very hard to retake into Pharah and into all those ultimates. So now that they've gotten them out and now they have EMP, they can get that EMP off first. They can win this next fight. Again, let's look at the positions here. Luffy's back up on the high ground. He's probably not going to drop this time. Void over here. Ding. Okay, rest is pretty standard. Wondering where Lip is right now. Okay, he's with the team. Oh. And Ding insta-kills Leaf. Leaf keeps trying to go for the same flank. So this time, Ding was ready for it. Nice shot onto Leaf. He was kind of waiting for his blinks because if you want to go from here to here, generally you have to use 2 blinks just to get in. So he wants to recover those. And then great push there onto him from Ding. Luffy's getting spammed a little bit up here, which is hard for him to heal himself unless he nades himself right. And A-Man actually gets the jump on him. A-Man gets slept again. He didn't have bubble again. A-Man being a narcoleptic again. Jinmu's able to get the hack off first though. And it's pretty good. It gets Fearless, Ding, and Lee Jae-gon. It doesn't get Lip. And Leave is still dead. So let's see if Lip can go for the counter EMP here. Yeah, he gets the counter EMP. And he gets everybody, including Yveltal, who was very close to his ult. So good EMP there from Lip. This is probably going to be another one fight. Because of the 5-man hack and because Leave died. Yeah. And again, that EMP ability is so strong. They now have their Nano Barrage again. And the Diva Bomb. So good ult rotations there from the Dragons. And maybe Luffy's just too far to dive. Like, now A-Man has his ult. But he's been getting slept every time he tries to ult Luffy. I think what needs to be the first step for Chengdu is securing this high ground. Because this high ground's a really good diving base. let's say. Then after that, they can look to either dive or boop Luffy. But if they don't get onto Luffy, he's going to damage and heal everybody from there, right? That's very rough. I think they need to get him off. Unless you can get a hack on like a Farah or a frontliner. Ming dives in. Gets onto Lip. Lip has to TP out. So that's decent, right? They bubble trade. And he gets Lip out. That's a good dive. And as I said, they kind of have to secure this high ground as a diving base before they do anything. And Jinmu was actually camping the translocator. So this is something we talked about earlier, right? But while you have downtime as Sombra, I think it's very strong that if you're playing against a Sombra, you try to find her translocator. And you either destroy it when she's visible or that you camp it. Actually doesn't seem to be what Jinmu did here. But Lip just kind of walks back to the point without a translocator up and no invisibility. So he just dies. Good positioning there from Jinmu. And I see from Lip. Now Ameng's ulting. Let's see if he gets slept again. Oh, did he get slept? Actually, at the start of that? But did he get woken up? No. No sleep yet. Oh, Luffy gets booped off. Oh, he's still on? Now he gets booped. Oh, he needs to nade himself. Oh, he's trying to get the nano off. Oh, shit. He was so focused on getting his nano off. And he even hits the Mercy instead of the Farah that he didn't use any of his cooldowns and just died. Ooh, this is bad. Yeah, Chengdu should win this fight now. Oh, Yveltal does end up dying. Falls, however. Void ults, Luffy gets res, but at this point, Chengdu should really win this fight. Fearless is still full HP. Fearless kills leave. This shouldn't be happening right now. I think Jagon is ulting. Wait, he ulted so early. He ulted straight out of spawn. Fearless does end up dying. The beat comes out for Yveltal, which is good because the EMP was about to come up, but obviously didn't really want to use that. Jagon goes to touch. The EMP actually comes out now for Lip, and the Fair ult's still available for Ding as well, so this could be winnable for the Dragons. They're still down 2, however. Fearless just respawn. They're only 4 free. 4. And Slip just he beat away. Ding actually gets Yveltal with the ult. Does end up dying. Maybe if Void instead of chasing Elsa at Matrix him would have been good. But he did kill Elsa. So it's a trade-off. Maybe worth. Void does get hacked, however. And at this point, famous line comes in. Hunters should be able to win this and farm ults off the enemy team, actually, because they're staggering so much. So yeah, nice clutch attempt from the Dragons, but they do end up using a ton of ults to try and clutch that. And Hunters don't use any ults, so Hunters now has a massive ult bank and a really good composition to where Dragons have just swapped off of the Mercy. Now, because Ding's still on Farah, he's probably going to swap back on. Or Ding is going to swap off, right? It's either or. I think this is not too good of a Farah point or anymore against this Hunter's composition. But at the same time, Ding is basically a Farah one-trick. And they've been so successful on this game that why would you swap off now, right? Get a hack on Molly, that's fine. Hunter's looking good with their ults. They actually use Pulse Bomb. He gets a sticky onto Luffy. That's a very good pre-fight pick. That's exactly what you need if you are playing that Tracer pick. They also find Fearless. But this should be just an auto one fight. And winning a fight with only Pulse Bomb is incredible, right? They just get to keep all their other ults for the second point. The most important point of the or Hollywood, right? Because even if you win this fight early on with a bunch of ults, if you can't win the second fight, then you're going to get held here. Dragons are also coming up on 4 ultimates though. It just shows how important ult economy is right in this game. Because Dragons use so many ults to try and clutch that last fight. They weren't coming in with a bunch of ults. Now they have a bunch of ults. Ding actually instantly gets Coalescence on. And this is bad. Ding is walking out, but Lee Jae-gon isn't. Lee Jae-gon isn't even close. So this seems like a communication error or something. Lee Jae-gon is out and about. Ding flies up. Lee Jae-gon walks back inside because he's scared. But now, you know, you might be scared, but your Freya's gonna die without you. Unless you can nano him, I guess. Which might be the plan here. They could do that. But still, they're not helping Ding. And he just dies. Now, good thing for the Dragons, they have taken control of point. So while the Hunters was killing Ding, Fearless and Lip went point. So there was a miscommunication. And now Fearless dies though. This is going to be a rough contest for the Dragons. They might not even go for this. They are going to go for this. They have a bunch of ultimates, but still. Void's going to go touch. Oh, he flies back out. What? Okay. Okay. So, good communication there from the Dragons. Lip TP'd in while Void kind of flew back to counter dive aiming. And Lip gets a good ult on 2 people. Or like, it's not too great, but the fact that Ding kills the Lucio so early on. Oop. Believe gets his recall force. That's bad for the Tracer, right? Yeah, so the EMP also hits Evoltol. And Ding, nice nano. That's the strength of that nano Pharah, right? With a direct and damage boost, you can one-shot somebody. One-shot a 200 HP target and he kills 2 people, actually. So, this fight should be going to the Shanghai Dragons. Oh, Ameng ults. And Lip dies to Jinmu. Maybe it's not over yet. But the Shanghai really shouldn't lose this. Oh, Ameng gets slept again. But this time he gets woken up. That's bad. Who wakes him up? Huh? Who's to blame? You get slept. Void. Is it you? Is it you, buddy? It's frickin' Void. Get our pitchforks out. We're canceling Void. No, I'm joking. But that does kind of screw Luffy over. Luffy's mad. Oh, Luffy misses his nade because he's getting booped around. Now the EMP for Jinmu comes out. Fearless is able to ult. But Luffy ends up dying. All because of that Winston wake up from Void. Oh, is Void gonna die before he can ult? Oh, he is able to ult. Okay, so that's very good. That means he gets the free remake. Oh, they're able to res Luffy too. Thing dies, however. And Luffy dies again. Shit. Ooh, this is a rough spot. Maybe they shouldn't have gone for this res. He should have just maybe healed Ding. Yeah, he gets rezzed right inside of the Lucio and the Moya, dude. He's not able to get his nade off even. Shanghai still have better spawns, but they're now 2 down. Let's look at the staggers from the Hunters. So Elsa's just died. Is there anyone coming back still? No. So they are 5 in the fight because they have such fast characters. Lip might die here. Lip dies to Amon. Amang. Dude, the only reason the Shanghai Dragons lost this fight, the only singular reason, is because Void woke up ulting Amang. The singular reason. That is rough. Luffy's mad right now. Luffy's molding. Luffy has played so incredibly well this match though. Amang obviously isn't that comfortable on the Winston, but he has slept Amang every single time and slept other people too. Great job by him. It kind of shows why he's playing over his counterpart. Who is that again? Fuck. Who else is on the Shanghai Dragons for flex support? Help me out, chat. Anyway. Oh, Fearless just randomly dies. Oh yeah, they have the old Valiant guy, Izayaki. Thank you, Nettie. Yeah, and normally they're playing Izayaki, but Luffy actually performing incredibly well in this match. So I guess Izayaki's now going to be their Zenyatta specialist, and Luffy's going to be their Ana specialist based on this match, right? Fearless also normally doesn't play. Normally it's stand 1 playing. So great to see the Dragons use a lot of their bench. I really like if you're able to play players that they can play, you know. And Fearless and Luffy have been performing great this match. And it just allows for specialization, right? You allow one guy to only grind Ana, and you allow the other guy to only grind Zenyatta. And same, if Fearless is only grinding Winston and Orisa, right? Stand 1 can only grind Hammond and Orisa, maybe. Or stand 1 can grind Reinhardt. That kind of stuff. So there is definitely advantages to having a thick roster if a lot of your roster is good. Fearless here, kind of insta. Leave also dies again though. Leave's not been having too much of a great thing here. Let's watch Leave here. Oop. He just gets... Ooh, that was not great. Nice shot though from Luffy again. Fighting out. Fearless gets rezzed. So suddenly this fight is completely turned around. Lee Jae Gun is somehow able to get that res off. Not great. Dragons only used the barrage to win this fight too. However, what does look very good for the Hunters isn't that Elsa's going to get staggered right now. It's that they have 6 ultimates. So if there was ever a time to snowball this 3rd point, it would be now. Okay. Molly gets killed by Fearless. I don't know how any of this how does he get away with it? There's no EMP engage, right? Okay, so the Diva's still demeched. Elsa's still demeched. He gets dived. Oh, the EMP comes out from Lip. It's a great EMP. He's able to get, again, Yveltal, who, if he doesn't get Yveltal, this is a bad EMP, right? Because Yveltal just beats, keeps his friends alive, and they're able to go aggro. But because he gets Yveltal, this EMP is top value. The high tier EMP because of it. And then they clean up. Yveltal again gets hacked. They definitely know he is ult now. And the Hunters only have 20 seconds to get to the point, and they're still sitting on 5 ultimates. They were even able to cancel Molly's ultimate with the EMP. Which one thing you can do as the Hunters is to use Molly ultimate aggressive, speed in, and then hide as Lucia. And then they're going to try and probably EMP the Coalescence because that's pretty good value. And then you come in with the beat and you push hard. That is a good play in my opinion. Okay, so very aggressive EMP comes in for Jinmu. He's able to get both the Fair and the Mercy. But Lee Jae-gon is able to ult actually. Good job on him to kind of counter that EMP by ulting. He might still die here, however, because he can't Guardian Angel. He doesn't end up dying. He still gets that passive regen from the ultimate. So great job ulting by him. And Fearless actually ends up killing Jinmu. Now Ameng's ulting and he gets slept again. I need to make a montage of how many times Ameng got slept this match, because it's actually insane. I think more than 70% of his ults, Ameng has just been slept. So if somebody wants clout, go and make a montage of Ameng being slept by Luffy. And then he gets hacked, so it's good to wake him up. Dink finally kills Ameng. Oh, bad bomb gets caught on the wall here. He was trying to aim that. And this is a classic bomb on this. A third point is to aim it on top of this little box here. Because then you get all of this, all of this, all of this, right? All in the bomb range. That's a super good bomb spot. So if you're trying to, be a god at Diva, practicing bombs to get up there, really good. But Elsa misses it. It catches the wall. And Ameng is dead. Elsa's just been demeched. As you can see, Dragons is just focusing their cart. They're gonna get their Fair ult up. Leave also dies. This is looking really dire for the Chengdu Hunters right here. And I think this is going to be the match. Yes, it is. Okay, what a match between the Chengdu Hunters and the Shanghai Dragons. I think Chengdu Hunters didn't look too bad, but I think their inflexibility and inability to counter the Shanghai comp is really what cost them this. I think Ameng is great at Hammond, but he needs to grind some more Winston. Because if he's just going to get countered by one Samra pick every single match, it's not very good on him, His Orissa's okay, but again, he can't shift the EMPs. It's not looking too good either. So maybe you'd want to play Ting if you know the Shanghai Dragons are going to play Samra. But again, swapping it up like that in-game isn't too good. So for the people watching on YouTube, thank you very, very much for watching this video. And I'll see you guys in the next one.